It is always and always Hindu gods and goddesses. No other figures from other faiths are picked up in these films because perhaps they know that the Hindu is tolerant. The Hindu will never lash out in a very extreme way. If you are making a film on sex education amongst youngsters, school-going children, then stick to that. Try to make a socially relevant film without bringing in religion, especially the Hindu religion. Creative freedom or rampant mockery. Bollywood is back with a new movie called OMG 2, where we see Akshay Kumar dressed up as Mahakal, Lord Shiva, one of the most revered gods and most worshipped gods in the Hindu faith. But there have been many cuts suggested by the CBFC, and also an A certificate has been put on the film. Is that enough? Because a lot of people are complaining now that Bollywood filmmakers, in the garb of very many subjects, are indulging in mockery of our Hindu gods and goddesses. Creative freedom is all right, but mockery is mockery, and that must stop in this genre of Indian cinema. Namaste and welcome to a fresh new episode of Beyond the Reels. I think it all started with PK, Amir Khan's film that showed Lord Shiva in an extremely frivolous light. The audience wasn't aware of how the script would play out, and the film went on to become a grand success. But as awareness grew, people started reading up and scrutinizing what was shown in the film. It turned out that the film was extremely rude to our Hindu god, Lord Shiva, and not just Lord Shiva, but very many aspects of the Hindu faith. It was hurting religious sentiments. It was twisting a lot of religious connotations in the garb of making social commentaries that they thought was relevant. Why are the filmmakers, or why have the filmmakers been picking up on religious subjects that are that the Indian audience is very sensitive to? It is always and always Hindu gods and goddesses. No other figures from other faiths are picked up in these films because perhaps they know that the Hindu is tolerant. The Hindu will never lash out in a very extreme way. So does that mean that the filmmakers will take the liberty of hurting us again and again and again? The trailer of OMG 2 suggests that awareness the filmmakers are trying to create an awareness regarding sex education amongst youngsters who are going to school. I believe the intent is very good. It is very important to understand why the filmmakers are drawing in the reference of Lord Shiva. Why is it so important or imperative for them to connect it to such an important figure in the Sanatan philosophy? Here again, I want to understand that are they picking up these religious topics or drawing in these religious figures just to ride on the Hindu wave, just to grab the attention of people, saying that okay, we have made a film on Lord Shiva and you will get to see Mahakal, so you come and see our film. If you are making a film on sex education amongst youngsters, school-going children, then stick to that. Try to make a socially relevant film without bringing in religion, especially the Hindu religion. If you're not picking up religious figures from other faiths, I think it is time that you do not touch our gods and goddesses anymore. I would like to draw your attention to some of the cuts that the CBFC has ordered the makers of OMG 2 to make. You know, the god has been shown, the messenger of God, as Shivji has been referred to after the change, has been shown in an intoxicated form. This one is really insinuating. The dialogues and vulgar gestures by the court has been asked to be modified, and it was related to the dialogue Stri ki yoni havan kund hai. The CBFC also ordered for the modification of the mention of ling, and the same is not used in isolation but as Shivling or Shiv only wherever applicable. Here we have to understand that the script writer or the dialogue writer, what state of mind was he in when he had written these during the preparation of the script or during the making of the film. Speaking of that, I would like to talk about Adipurush, because Bollywood filmmakers love to toy with such subjects, be it Brahmastra, where initially the script was written keeping a Sufi figure in mind. The Allahabad High Court lambasted the filmmakers of Adipurush, saying that creative freedom is all fine, it's all good, but how much will the Hindu tolerate? The writer of Adipurush tried to justify the use of crass language and the depiction of the way the characters were depicted in the film, saying that in the age of Avengers, we need to remodel our gods and our religious figures this way so that today's children can relate to it. What are we going to show our children? That Hanumanji speaks in that kind of language? Another point that we would like to talk about is that, on OTT platforms, there are several series and content that mocks the Hindu gods and goddesses. Like we've had Tandav, we've had Sacred Games, we've had a host of such series. We have to constantly question that if you are showing a religious figure in your film, in your story, what is the relevance of that? There is no need to, make Shivji equal to a human and equate and make him move around a town or a village or a city like a normal human being. He is not a normal human being. Just putting these characters in a film is not relevant anymore. Until and unless you find the relevance, I think it's absolutely not needed, and they are best, revered in the mandirs and in our religious texts.